Have you ever tried to sneak into somewhere you weren't supposed to be? Maybe a concert, a VIP section, or just the kitchen for a midnight snack? Well, in the mid-1960s, a skinny, nervous teenager in a cheap suit and carrying a borrowed briefcase walked right past the high-security gates of Universal Studios. He didn't have a pass. He didn't have an appointment. He didn't even have a job. He just nodded at the security guard like he belonged there, found an empty broom closet, turned it into an office, and spent the entire summer hiding in plain sight just to watch how movies were made. That trespasser was Steven Spielberg. Today, we know him as the mastermind behind Jaws, E.T., Jurassic Park, and Schindler's List. He's won 3 Oscars and effectively invented the summer blockbuster. But behind the red carpets is a story of a kid who was bullied for being different, a student who struggled with dyslexia, and a filmmaker who was rejected by his dream film school 3 separate times. We're going to look at how his discipline, his grit, and his slightly obsessive love for storytelling can help you direct the masterpiece that is your own life. Through his journey, we'll learn that success isn't about waiting for an invitation. It's about having the courage to walk through the door anyway. Steven wasn't the cool kid in school. In fact, he was a self-described nerd before being a nerd was actually cool. He was a skinny kid who was scared of almost everything: the dark, insects, and even the sound of the wind. But he discovered a superpower: his father's 8mm movie camera. While other kids were out playing football, Steven was in the backyard figuring out how to make special effects using flour and cherry juice. He once made a war movie where he used pressure cookers to blow up cans of cherries to simulate explosions. His poor mother's kitchen looked like a crime scene, but Steven didn't care. He was learning how to turn his fears into film. He realized early on that if you can control the story, the things that scare you don't have power over you anymore. Let's go back to those rejections. Steven applied to the University of Southern California's film school, the best in the world. They looked at his average grades and said, "Thanks, but no thanks." He applied again. Rejected. He applied a third time. Rejected. If he had listened to the experts, we wouldn't have the shark from Jaws or the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. Instead of sulking or changing majors to something safe, he kept making short films on his own. He eventually got a deal to direct TV shows at age 22, simply because he refused to stop producing work. He once said, "Work hard. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Just keep moving." This means that your current setbacks, that failed test, that job rejection, that no from a coach, are just scenes in your movie. They aren't the ending. Steven learned that if the front door is locked, you check the windows. If the windows are locked, you climb down the chimney. How did he stay motivated when things got tough? He followed his internal whisper. Steven believes that while your parents or teachers might shout advice at you, your intuition whispers. He stayed focused because he valued the story more than the fame. During the filming of Jaws, everything went wrong. The mechanical shark, nicknamed Bruce, kept sinking to the bottom of the ocean. The production was way over budget and months behind schedule. People in Hollywood started calling the movie The Flaws. Steven could have quit, but his mindset was, the problem is the opportunity. Because the shark didn't work, he had to film from the shark's perspective, which made the movie 10 times scarier. He turned a mechanical failure into a cinematic masterpiece. You might think someone as talented as Spielberg just wings it. Actually, he's one of the most disciplined people in Hollywood. When he's working, he's the first one on set and the last to leave. He spends months, sometimes years, storyboarding every single frame of a movie before he even picks up a camera. He sacrificed a normal social life as a young man to master the technical side of film. He didn't just want to be a director. He wanted to be the best director. That required a level of study and preparation that most people aren't willing to do. Success isn't just about a big break. It's about being ready when that break finally happens. Despite his genius, Steven is incredibly relatable. He's famously a big kid. When he was filming E.T., he would often sit on the floor and play with the child actors to make them feel comfortable. And let's not forget his legendary failed prank. He once tried to play a joke on the crew of Jaws by getting into the mechanical shark's mouth, but the controls jammed and the shark's teeth literally trapped him inside. He had to be rescued from his own monster. It's a great reminder. Even the greatest directors in the world get stuck in the shark's mouth sometimes. Don't take yourself too seriously. It's okay to look a little ridiculous on your way to greatness. To understand Spielberg, you have to listen to the lessons he's picked up over 60 years of storytelling. He said, "I don't dream at night. I dream at day. I dream all day. I'm dreaming for a living." Meaning, don't relegate your passions to your sleep. Make your daydream your day job. He said, "The only way I can get any sun is if I'm at the beach and there's a camera between me and the surf." Meaning, this is about obsession. If you love something enough, the work doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like breathing. He said, "Every time I go to a movie, it's magic, no matter what the movie's about." Meaning, keep your sense of wonder. If you stop being amazed by the world, you'll stop being able to change it. He said, "You shouldn't dream your film, you should make it." Meaning, ideas are cheap. Execution is everything. Stop talking about what you're going to do and start doing it. He said, "All of us, every single year, we're a different person. I don't think we're the same person all our lives." Meaning, you are allowed to evolve. You aren't defined by who you were in middle school or even who you were yesterday. So, what's the Spielberg secret for you? It's the realization that your life is a series of choices. You can be the person who gets rejected by their dream and gives up, or you can be the person who puts on a suit and sneaks onto the studio lot. Steven Spielberg teaches us that being an outsider is actually a gift because it gives you a unique perspective. He teaches us that discipline is the bridge between a dream and a reality. And most importantly, he teaches us that courage isn't the absence of fear. Remember, he was the kid scared of the dark. Courage is taking that fear and turning it into a story that inspires the world. Whether you want to be a doctor, an artist, an engineer, or an entrepreneur, remember, you are the director of your own life. Don't wait for someone to give you a yes. Go out there, grab your metaphorical camera, and start filming. The world is waiting for your story. Make it a blockbuster.